I mean, he, you know, he did a lot of weird stuff like I tell in the book. The first chapter is when I talk about he jumped out the window and we had to grab him and bring him back. And then he started humping me, but then the next day when we confronted him about it, he would say, he would just be so, you know, he didn't even remember it, so how can you blame him, and he would just be a totally different guy, I mean, it was pretty scary almost, so uh yeah, I would say the day after, uh that was the real Jim.
Yeah. And you talk a lot about obviously the self-destruction in the book of Jim, but you also talk about years later the self-destruction with yourself and the drugs that you got into and that period of recovery. Was it and that wasn't very well known, what I understand, until you really unveiled it in the book. Was it a challenge to really look at the destruction that Jim had, and then also writing about the destruction that it caused in your life at the time as well?
Well, it was different, I think, because Jim really was manic depressive. I think that's what they would call him these days. We're walking through my house now.
Yeah, thank you, Jim.
Manic depression, you're really two different people, or some people make it have three or four, different personalities or more. But I think with me, it was just I never really wanted to be in the limelight. I always wanted to be in the background. Jim was up in front. So I think when I had to be the front man, then that put the pressure on, and I think that's more like the reason I got into the drugs. And all my friends, I don't know why, but everybody I knew was into drugs during the 80s and 90s. It was just the thing to do, I guess. I don't know.